Bye.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health.
At Denny's, we have the best value all day long, like the Everyday Value Slam for only $5.99. Now you can stack your wins and enjoy the sunny side of craveable value. $5.99 every day, part of the all-day Diner Deals value menu, only at Denny's.
Is it going to be a full-fledged tour?
There'll be a full-on fight. No, I'm joking.
Tomorrow, one-on-one with Mel B, breaking Spice Girls news to ET.
And I'm probably going to get told off for even saying that.
That lady cannot help herself. She loves to talk, and we love her for it. Now, let's leave you with the star of Teen Wolf, the movie, Tyler Posey. The film streams January 26th on Paramount+.
And last night, our Ash Crossan got Tyler's reaction to all
happening now.
A record number of firearms intercepted last year here at San Antonio International Airport. We'll tell you a little bit about how these screenings work and the best ways to pack smart.
It's day 2 of pre-trial hearing in the Andre McDonald case. This is the case of the man who's accused of killing his wife back in 2019. Coming up, where we're at in this case and what the judge may have possibly decided.
The latest drought monitor is in. We're going to take a look at it, not just in our area, but across the state, along with our next few chances of rain and temperatures dropping off a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
And we start off with breaking news. First at 5, 2 people found dead this morning, and now the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has a suspect in custody.
But that investigation is not done yet. Camelia Juarez joins us live from the Bexar County Jail. Camelia, it's my understanding the Sheriff's Office is still looking for other people.
That's right. They are still looking for people, but Sheriff Javier Salazar says that this argument all started over car keys. And now 42-year-old Sharice Wiley Taylor has been charged with capital murder for her alleged involvement with the death of 2 people. Let's take a look at the scene from earlier today. Around 1:30 this morning, deputies found 2 men dead outside the Villages of Briggs Ranch apartment in the 5500 block of Mansions Bluff. One man was found lying near a parked car while another was in a walkway. Deputies took Taylor in for questioning and discovered she was involved. Her son, Deleon Taylor Griffith, is a person of interest in this case, and BCSO deputies are looking for him. Sheriff Javier Salazar says he is armed and dangerous, but he may have important information about the fatal shooting.
So Deleon Malik Taylor Griffin, 25 years of age. Although he's considered a person of interest in this case at this point, we do believe that he's got quite a bit of information to shed. In fact, we believe he was present during the attack itself or immediately thereafter. Now, Deleon Malik Taylor Griffin is actually wanted for several charges out of Washington State. He's currently got several warrants unrelated to this latest incident.
Now, if you have any information about Deleon's whereabouts or any more information about this shooting, you're urged to call 210-335-6000. That's BCSO. They can help you with that. Reporting live from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Camelia, thank you. A plume of smoke seen from miles away. This is actually video from our TransGuide cameras over a fire at a scrap metal facility on the southwest side. Now, this is not the first fire to happen here. The San Antonio Fire Department tells us this is a common problem. Over the last 5 years, there have been 8 fires. It's unclear what caused today's. No one was hurt.
Farther south, Sky 12 flying over yet another fire. This is at the Balin Street and Hidalgo Avenue area near South Flores and Blue Wing Roads. In this case, Bexar County fire officials say it's an unauthorized burn of junk and it got out of control. The fire, which is in a residential area, reported by a passerby. The flames are now out. You can see it's still smoking. No word on anyone getting hurt and whether anyone is now facing a fine.
Still very dry air in place, but luckily not windy today. Otherwise, those fires could have spread very rapidly, but we're still dealing with that very low relative humidity. Temperature-wise, 71 the high officially at the airport. That's where we are, Eagle Pass and Floresville at the moment. Panna Maria up to 73, Bulverde 68, get to New Braunfels, Michael's Backyard at 69, and Mico at 68. Beautiful evening setting up. Because we've got some good high thin clouds coming in from Mexico. We have a little bit of energy coming in off the Pacific. That's going to give us these high clouds that are streaming in, and that will set the stage for a beautiful sunset for some of us, especially locally and west of San Antonio. I think this is going to be a good one to at least get outside at some point between 5:50 p.m. and about 6:20 p.m. Personally, I'd say 6:10. 6:10 is the time to get out. Temperature at that point, 65. We'll talk about much cooler temperatures on the way, below average for a change, and more optimism for rain in just a bit.
Well, check out traffic right now, and this is US 90 at Couples, and you can see absolutely no problems out there right now. Smooth sailing, no major traffic tie-ups actually throughout the city at this hour.
We have an update to a deadly crash from earlier in the week. The 2 people killed in a dump truck accident have now been identified as 63-year-old John Hayes and 25-year-old Jesus Delgado Garcia. According to police, Garcia was driving a dump truck and ignored a red light. He then crashed into Hayes, who was in a BMW at the time. Hayes died right there at the scene. Garcia later died at a hospital. Intoxication is not suspected in this case.
The Bexar County medical examiner identifying the man that investigators say was killed while trying to break into an apartment. His name was Jeffrey Allen Davis. Police say he tried kicking the door down of an apartment in the 500 block of West Euclid near San Pedro on January 10th.
The person living in the apartment heard Davis's loud attempt, says the door was bolted. And when the door came down, the resident shot Davis in self-defense.
A garage door was askew and a shovel in plain sight. Those are some of the reasons a much talked about murder trial has not begun as scheduled.
Andre McDonald accused of murdering his wife, Andreen, but his lawyers are arguing that some of the evidence at his home should not be used at trial. Erica Hernandez with the reason why police and their search for the missing woman is being put into question.
Every warrant the state has tendered to you has problems.
Defense attorney John Hunter over and over today arguing that search warrants done in 2019 by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office shouldn't be allowed in Andre McDonald's trial. McDonald's wife, Andreen McDonald, disappeared in 2019, and her remains were found almost 5 months later on a private property in northern Bexar County. The search warrants, the defense says, were done inaccurately, and that BCSO deputies had no reason to go into the home when they were called to do a welfare check on Andre McDonald the day after Andreen was reported missing.
There's no sign of anything out of the ordinary at that residence. Once we've shown you that law enforcement have made a false statement or a misleading in this affidavit.
The prosecution countered, saying that when deputies noticed the garage door off the hinges and broken, it gave them probable cause to continue to look inside the residence a second time, which led them to finding a shovel in the back seat of a vehicle parked inside the garage. But the defense still insisted that none of that was relevant and the fact nobody was in danger. The defense says deputies should not have entered an open window to gain access to the home.
There's no fact that would justify a conclusion of an ongoing emergency. We have a warrantless entry into the home.
As of right now, it appears that Judge Frank Castro may be denying these motions concerning the search warrants, saying that there looks to be that there was enough probable cause for deputies to go inside after seeing that garage door broken. But this isn't it for this pretrial motion. There are other issues being brought up by the defense that will be taken up tomorrow. We will continue to follow it with testimony expected to begin on Monday. At the Kennedy Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
It's the kind of record you don't want to see. The Transportation Security Administration says it found a high number of firearms last year from passengers at U.S. airports. Here in San Antonio, the TSA found more people with guns last year than it did in 2021. RJ Marquez spoke with TSA officials about this increase and what gun owners need to do before they hop on a plane.
Thousands of travelers make their way through San Antonio International Airport every day, and there's a growing number of people taking firearms on their carry-on luggage.
At no point, at no time, is a gun or any gun component allowed in your carry-on in what we see here. So no guns, no bullets, no silencers.
The TSA reports South Texas airports from San Antonio to the Rio Grande Valley discovered a record number of firearms last year, 145 compared to 89 in 2021. And many of these weapons are often loaded.
And they're There's multiple reasons likely. One is that Texas has more liberal gun laws. So people, when they leave their home, they grab their keys, they grab their wallet, they grab their gun.
TSA officers intercepted 108 firearms right here at San Antonio International Airport last year during the screening process. That's a record for our airports and an increase from 65 in 2021. TSA says people can travel with a firearm in checked luggage, but there are steps they have to take beforehand.
Make sure that your gun is unloaded, no bullets, that it's packed in a hard-sided container and that it's locked with a padlock, and that you declare your gun with the airline. There's actually a form that they have to sign. That form goes with the firearm.
And for people who don't follow these rules, the penalties can be costly.
And they're subject to fines of up to $15,000. And the police is called in every case when an undeclared gun is found, whether it's in your carry-on luggage or your checked luggage.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Harlandale ISD considering a big change for the upcoming school year. The district is proposing a shorter school week. That district has already started gathering input from teachers, staff, and the community about converting to a 4-day school week. Harlandale says it is looking to other districts in the state who've made the switch to ensure that change doesn't negatively impact student instruction. If the change is implemented, Harlandale would be the first district in San Antonio to go to a 4-day school week. Act quickly or go into default. That's the warning that U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has for Congress after the nation reached its debt limit today. Karen Kaifa in Washington with a look at where things stand and the potential economic fallout.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Thursday the U.S. hit the $31.4 trillion borrowing cap set by Congress. And while the Treasury Department will take measures to keep payments going on America's debt until June 5th, it steps up the pressure on Congress to come to an agreement or risk an unprecedented default.
This is about economic stability versus economic chaos.
With the potential for U.S. economic catastrophe, raising the debt ceiling has historically been a routine and bipartisan act. Congress most recently did it just over 1 year ago. But the dynamics of the new House Republican majority could prompt a drawn-out battle this round after Kevin McCarthy made concessions during his contentious speaker's election to hardline members of his party who want to use the debt ceiling as a bargaining chip in a debate over cutting future government spending.
Let's start paying this debt off.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said he expects the White House will have to get involved in the discussions.
We'll end up in some kind of negotiation with the administration over what are the circumstances or conditions under which the debt ceiling be raised.
Potential consequences of a long debt ceiling standoff range from market turmoil, crashing Americans' retirement accounts, to the government being forced to prioritize federal payments, deciding which will come first among Social Security, federal salaries, and other payments. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
When's the last time you looked at your internet bill? It's set to auto pay. You might be missing out on savings. Stick around at 12 on your side report on ways you can save on at-home internet costs when we come back.
Myra Arthur here with a look at what's ahead on the news at 6 o'clock today. A construction worker shot and killed on the northeast side 3 years ago. And today police are still looking for his killer. What investigators think drove someone to shoot the man, and his family's plea for help now. Plus, real life transformed into an onstage production. We give you a preview of a show that highlights a pivotal moment in Mexican-American civil rights. It happened here in South Texas, and a student walkout was at the center of it all. These stories and more today at 6.
Thank you, Myra. It's about more than megabytes. When's the last time you looked to see how much you're actually paying for your internet service? Turns out it's not always easy to tell. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz looks at what you can do to save money.
How much are you paying for your internet? If you checked your bill but still can't tell, it's not just you. Consumer Reports analyzed more than 22,000 internet bills from across the country. With so many lines of charges and fees, they found it challenging to determine the true price of internet.
A lot of consumers bundle it with their TV or their phone service, and some providers have a separate line item for internet service, but others do not. They just have one price for bundled service, and you can't really tell on that sort of bill what part of that bundle is paying for your broadband service.
The NCTA, Internet and Television Association, disagrees, saying cable providers provide transparent billing information on their websites and promotional materials. As for prices, Consumer Reports found those vary a lot.
We found people paying for subpar broadband service, like 5 to 10 megabits per second download speeds, were paying on average the same as people getting 100, 300 megabits per second.
So how can you be sure you're getting the best deal possible? Well, first you want to know that you're actually getting the speed that you're paying for. There are some tests for that. Speed Test by Ookla and MLab are two sites where you can test your speed. Next, call your provider and ask for a better deal. It can't hurt. Instead of paying a monthly rental fee for your router, buy one. And some companies give a discount if you skip paper billing and sign up for autopay. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All very good advice. Ah, what a beautiful scene there.
Yeah, that's the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center.
Yes.
Beautiful day. I mean, this is more like what we expect in January, maybe even a little warmer than what we expect.
I tell you, it's outdoor weather right now.
It is, minus the mountain cedar. We got the itchy eyes and the sniffly noses, but everything else is beautiful. However, get ready for temperatures to actually take a bit of a drop. Noticeably cooler temperatures on the way. Even tomorrow, you'll notice that change. And we'll be dropping below average, not just for a day or so, but for several days in the 7-day forecast. We'll get to that in a bit. I want to start with my higher optimism for our rain chances early next week. Let's start with that, then we'll get to the drought monitor and just take a look at how badly we need the rain. So notice tomorrow, Friday, a 10% chance, basically a little sprinkle here and there. Let's just forget about it, not a big deal. Saturday morning, very light showers could pop up here and there, especially along and east of I-35. But I'm gaining confidence and optimism in Tuesday morning, even late Monday night, but especially Tuesday morning. I've bumped that up to 40% now, so in the scattered category, with even the possibility of some thunderstorms at that time. All right, here's the bad news. The drought monitor, updated every Thursday. Extreme and exceptional drought. Bexar County and even some surrounding counties off to the north. That includes most of Comal, all of Kendall, parts of Kerr, Bandera, Medina counties. And it's been like this since March. We haven't had much of an improvement. You go to the Gulf coastline, A-OK. Go to East Texas, just fine. Even over toward Dallas, just a little dry. That's about it. But you look across the state, and obviously the upper panhandle there, the northern part of the panhandle, could use some rain as well. But West Texas is actually in good shape. It's right here in San Antonio, in our neck of the woods, where it's really part of the worst drought across Texas. Here's the big picture. This is that wound up system we were talking about yesterday, moving through the Great Lakes. Our next system is this dip in the upper level flow near Las Vegas. And it's bringing some good heavy snowfall to some of the higher elevations of the Rockies. And of course, the ski resorts there are loving this pattern. They're seeing another walloping of snow. For us, that's going to drop in and really combine with some other energy coming off the Pacific. It'll give us that slight chance of rain as we get into Saturday morning, but nothing drastic. Again, about a 20% chance. Most of the energy with that will be to the north of us. We'll just have a separate little burst of energy coming in off the Pacific and even parts of Mexico. Then the more promising system, that's going to be dropping into the West Coast early next week. And by Tuesday morning, it should set itself up in a better position to give us more energy to generate that lift, and then a few showers and even thunderstorms. Okay, let's talk temperatures quickly. Right now we're near 70, dew point at 25, still very dry air. Look at those beautiful cirrus clouds. That is what's going to give us that beautiful, gorgeous sunset this evening. Sunset, by the way, at 6:01. I think the best color from that sunset will be at about 6:10. High thin clouds overhead this evening. Not much of a breeze. By 10 o'clock, we're at 55. Midnight, right near 50. Of course, low humidity. And tomorrow morning, in the 40s to near 50. Probably 50 on the west side of town, 47 on the north side, and about 49 down near Stinson. Hill country, lower 40s. By the afternoon, we're only 58 for the high temperature. That's it. So we went from well into the 70s down into the upper 50s tomorrow, mainly because of the extra cloud cover that we're going to have throughout the day tomorrow. Mainly gray, upper 50s for highs, and it's light easterly breeze. 59 Port SA tomorrow, Comfort 57, Pleasanton maybe up to 60. Notice next week, beyond that chance of rain Tuesday morning, highs right near 60, so below average Tuesday through Thursday. And look at that, near freezing again in the mornings, the middle part of next week.
See, winter's not over. Thank you, Adam.
All right, champs stopped by to let a community know they are not forgotten.
Yeah, the World Series champs, the Houston Astros. Remember, the Texans were the first to visit out there and help out that team. Well, now it's the baseball team out of Houston, the Houston Astros, and they brought the trophy with them. And is a short week really a disadvantage for the Dallas Cowboys when preparing for the San Francisco 49ers coming up? What a very special day as members of the 2022 World Series champion Houston Astros caravan made a stop in Uvalde today. Third baseman Alex Bregman, pitcher Lance McCullers Jr., and broadcaster Francisco Romero paid visits to the children of Flores Elementary School and later Uvalde Elementary School this morning. Heck, they even brought the World Series trophy with them to share with the Uvalde community at their Civic Center.
Hopefully these kids that we saw today in the classroom and we met last year at Minute Maid Park dream big, and maybe you never know, maybe one of them is a future Astro in that room. I know that the Astros Foundation are going to do everything in their power to be there for Uvalde.
Now, what a special day, as the Astros are the latest to help the Uvalde community heal in the wake of the Robb Elementary shooting deaths that claimed 21 lives.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
There is much being made about the short week for the Dallas Cowboys to face and prepare for the 49ers in San Francisco this Sunday evening. In fact, the 49ers will actually get 2 extra days of preparation when you consider they played Saturday afternoon against Seattle to advance to the NFL divisional playoffs, and at the same time at home negating the travel day. But here's an interesting stat. The Cowboys are 2-0 in games where they've only had 5 days to prepare, and Mike McCarthy is 5-1 in his last 6 outings that included a short week following an appearance on Monday Night Football. Is it extra motivation for the Cowboys that their last playoff loss was to the 49ers?
We've played them last year. I mean, it's just, you think about, like, obviously, like, the outcome of, like, last year and how that went, but also, like, the team. I mean, they have a lot of returning players, and but we have a lot of film on them, and, just want to know that's a game plan.
All right, kickoff in Santa Clara on Sunday is set for 5:30 p.m. and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. The Valero Texas Open held their media day today, where they bring back the defending champion, who this year will be J.J. Spaun, at the clubhouse of TPC San Antonio, located at the J.W. Marriott Resort Course. Spaun won his first ever PGA Tour event last year here in San Antonio, and his first ever trip to the Masters had followed by shooting a final round of 69 to finish at 13 under.
It holds a special place in my heart, even the whole community and even down to the restaurants, it's like this is my spot. So I feel like I earned that title and I'm excited to defend.
The 2023 Valero Texas Open will be held from March the 27th to April the 2nd, so that's not that far off at all.
I love that they give cowboy boots.
Of course.
It's it's not as great as the check they get, but, still nice.
Handmade.
Right.
I'll take a pair. Yeah. We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the news at 5 with us.
We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock. World News is up next.